what you do, even when it's bad or good. And they have to report this back to Santa.
But in Christmas movies. But there's a difference between a regular elf who helps make toys and an elf who sits on the shelf. They're completely different. Yes.
A lot of times elves can be sent to do field work and do lots of different things. So I believe it would be unfair of you to say that their life is boring when we don't know about their life. But from Christmas movies, I would say that they do have a good life because they get to celebrate the after Christmas run, and they have lots of good things in their life too.
You keep using Christmas movies as an example, but there are other Christmas movies like Elf that state how these elves have a hard job and different things like that. So Christmas movies isn't a good example because there are other Christmas movies that represent how elves have a hard job. I will now begin my flashes. First speaker on side opposition stated that elves are a big part of Christmas, but that's what we're saying. Elves are a big part of Christmas, but they don't get the recognition that they deserve. Also, they never stated how a strike would how a strike would have a negative impact. When they never stated how a strike would cause a negative impact. If the whole point of a strike is to help these people get freedom of speech and to help make the employer or business owner like Santa obey to what the elves are saying. They don't get anything in return. They also stated that they make toys and get to hang out with Santa. The elves on the shelves, like I stated, hang out with kids. Second speaker on side opposition stated we see kids sitting on shelves and this is what we're saying, but then they said that they hang out with Santa and do all the toys, but that doesn't make sense. They also continuously state about feeling good inside and helping out helps yourself, but like I stated, there are millions, billions of people on this earth, so they can't take into account that everybody will listen and pay attention. I will now be ending my speech. Thank you.
Yours is Camilla. Okay.
Caleb.
And then yours is
Out. Spelled A-O-A-N.
Okay. Team, are you ready?
Yes.
Opposing team, are you ready?
Yes.
Judge, are you ready? I want to start with my rebuttal. When Props was talking about kids touching elves and how they can still touch them at high places, why would a kid climb so high just to touch an elf? Don't you think they have better things to touch?
You lie.
No. First already said. Anyway, Prop Speaker 1 said that elves get hate, but really elves get more hate than love. When you think of Christmas, you think of a lot of things, but elves are one of the things you also think of, one of the big things. And Prop Speaker 2 said that they're miserable watching kids. First, it's their job to watch kids. They get paid by candy canes and other stuff. And don't you think watching kids is more fun than just doing nothing, doing a strike? You're just doing nothing. It's probably more fun to watch kids.
You lie.
Yes.
How is watching kids more fun when you can't move or do anything? All you do is just watch the kids and do nothing else.
Okay, but you're doing nothing when you're going on a strike. You can't move, just do nothing if they're watching kids. And they do move when they're watching kids, by the way. And like my speaker once said, it gives a kids reasons to be good. Just imagine how bad the kids would be without the elves. There's nobody watching them. They would be super bad. Imagine, and just like my speaker too said, if elves go on a strike, Santa wouldn't know who's naughty or nice. It's like taking a shot in the dark, finding who's naughty or who's nice. Or nobody gets presents. We think that if elves go on a strike, it would be bad because people care about elves. But we think the strike would be bad. But Prop only cares about the elves, not the kids, not Santa, not the presents, not even the whole season of Christmas. They just care about the elves. And let's just be honest. If you're a recruiter, you wouldn't know who to recruit. If you were a recruiter, you don't know how, or a coach, you wouldn't know who to recruit if you didn't have a recruiter. So we need elves to know who's naughty or nice. So I think elves are one of the most important things. So if they were to go on the strike, there's a chance that there'd be no presents, and Christmas would just be like over. So, and they kept talking about touching the elves. If they were mad, I don't think they would touch an elf. They would touch like the wall, anything else, just not an elf. That's just a bad thing. In conclusion, if elves were to go on a strike, kids would be bad, Santa would be confused on who's good, naughty, or nice, and most importantly, Christmas would be ruined. That's it.
Remind me really quick, the time for this one, it's 3 minutes?
For his,
No,
it's 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
just making sure.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay, I'd like to start the speech. So I would like to start this reply by attacking what Op said. Op said that elves are miserable, mistreated, and that they don't get the recognition that they deserve. I believe this is not true at all, because for one, I would like to call to the movie Elves. The Elves got a whole movie to themselves and to prove what they got. And in the Elves, in lots of movies I've seen, in cartoons and Christmas movies, I've seen that the elves are normally singing songs and they're happy. And I would like to count into positions that the elves have to think of what they're doing. So I think they find joy in the situations what they're doing, because they write you notes every day. And I think that's and I think that's clever, because they have to come up with the notes, and they make happy notes. And a lot of times when they say that, they're happy. And a lot of times they get to see they're wearing colors, and they're wearing things that can help them. And a lot of times colors can actually make a difference in what you wear. So I would argue to the fact that elves are actually very important and that they are happy. And think about what would be bad if the strike happened. The elves, it's actually proven from the movie Elves that elves are actually very happy when they make toys and they get to do stuff. And I would like to call into the movie Elf. When Buddy went to the real world, he was extremely happy to see all the cool things of the real world and think. Think of how much fun your elf has in your house. Because I would like to call to the fact that they get themselves into bizarre situations, and that's why your elves are in different places. They're having adventures in the night while you're asleep. So I would call to the fact that they're very happy, because they get to do multiple things. They get to do happy things. They get to see Santa. They get to explore the real world. I would like to back up what we all said. But what we said was that they're actually very important for Santa, because how would Santa know? Op doesn't think of the real world. Op doesn't think that about the small little kids that would miss out on Christmas. We're actually thinking about the elves in their situations. And we wouldn't want the elves to do something that's bad for them. That's why we know that this is good for them, because they're doing cool things and finding cool adventures each night. Like I said, that's how they end up in different situations. In summary, we believe that if Elf goes on strike, then kids, elves, and the whole state of Christmas would be ruined.
I have a question. Is opposition reply usually first?
Yes. It was tricky the first time for me too. So wait. Okay. Guys ready? Annie, right? Yeah. And over here it's Grayson.
Yes, ma'am.
We're proud to propose the motion that this House believes that elves on the shelf should go on a strike. They said elves are the joy, but elves on the shelf, they just stay there to watch. They don't do anything else. But the real joy is the elves that do the work. They said that elves on the shelf, like take care of kids to know if they're bad or not, but the kids, they're bad kids, and they don't care what the elves thinks or what Santa thinks. They just care about being themselves. They said that if you tell the child not to touch it, they wouldn't touch it. But that actually has been proven that even if you tell them not to do it, they'll still do it. The third speaker agreed that what we were saying was true. They agreed that elves should go on a strike in their birthday. We do care about the elves. The whole meaning of Christmas is if you like elves get time off, then they'll get better treatment. A lot of kids, especially little ones, have curiosity. And if they have curiosity, they'll want to touch it or just do stuff to it. But elves don't have the power to stop them. In our world, we care for the elves. We want them to be safe and not to be hated on. But in their world, they would want the elves to get hate and hurted on. They would also want the elves to get confused with the other elves, like the worker elves. For these reasons, this house believes that all elves elves on the shelf should go on a strike because 1, they get touched, 2, they get paid, and 3, elves on the shelf gets mistreated. And I'll be ending my speech.
I'm gonna go over first, and I'm gonna score really quick, and then I'll give the feedback. So you wanna process a little bit? We have a handy little book to go through.
Enjoy, yeah. Use that rubric. You guys all did really good.
Yes.
All of you guys. These lights your color statements clear, very clear, so you can read them like a mile away. Separate them. I'm done. You guys want to fight? You two? Do you guys want to fight, both of you guys?
No.
Okay, 'cause I thought you were laughing. Okay, you do want to fight then.
We don't want to fight each other. We're just friends.
I'm gonna fight you all guys. We'll debate first. pressure. You're under no pressure. You take your time, it'll be fine.
Cause someone else looked at it, and then I was like, can someone have to see what? And I'm like, wait, but I wanna do this.
Yeah. Now, Grayson's hair is a little messy. I think you should loosen point.
What did I do?
That's her.
Halfway there.
It's like this. It's with 2 fingers.
Boys are so stupid. But still.
Elijah got a stapler. He put a stapler in it.